Let's podcast alongside Joe Giglio. I'm Joe Ovies. We are not inside Eford Studios in downtown Raleigh. We are at ACC Tipoff for Basketball Media Days.
So we're supposed to be here for hoops.
We'll have great conversations with Jon Scheyer at Duke, Steve Forbes at Wake Forest, Paul Brazeau. We'll get into some nitty-gritty about scheduling with him. Great conversations. You'll want to stick around for the Darrion Williams NC State conversation too.
Yeah, some normal back and forth banter. Yeah,
good stuff. Good stuff. So, to kind of set the scene here, we're recording this. It is now currently 2:11 in the afternoon on Wednesday. The plan is to just do this front end, put all the interviews together, put it out there, and we go home and I nap. Okay. Unfortunately, in a weird sort of like the universe is funny, the last time we were in this building, the Hilton in Uptown Charlotte, for an ACC event was kickoff. And that was the grand arrival of Bill Belichick and the circus that came along with it. What I could not anticipate was the next time we were here today in October, that things have gone so off. I didn't think Carolina was going to be good this year. What I did not anticipate, what I could not have predicted, was just how quickly it's all fallen apart to the point where you and I are wondering, do we go back to Eford Studios tonight? Because what AJ dropped some nuggets today, right?
Yeah, Andrew Jones, 247 Sports. Potential exit strategy discussions occurred this morning at UNC. And while that doesn't mean Belichick will be fired, but there are preliminary conversations about the possibility that they won't, because remember, they have their open date this week.
Yes.
But the second I saw the Athletic report yesterday about an assistant coach being suspended for an impermissible benefit in 2025.
It's 2025. I didn't realize you could have extra benefit violations in the current state of college athletics.
For giving out sideline passes. Now, what's interesting about this is, I don't want to go next level on you people, but I told you Carolina had the best lawyers in the game.
No, you're right.
What if they're setting them up? Because there is an oversight clause in Bill Belichick's contract that says you can be fired for cause for breaking NCAA rules.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you're going to have a hard time getting that entire deal avoided for, in a sideline pass for a family member. But that makes more plausible sense for why Carolina would potentially be scheming behind the scenes to lower or minimize the amount that they will owe Bill Belichick over the next 3 years to not coach their football team.
Yeah.
Because he had a $30 million guarantee, 10 of which is this year. But if they fire him without cause, they would owe him $20 million. Then there's the matter of Mike Lombardi. Then there's the matter of Mike Lombardi's son.
Yeah.
Then there's the matter of the coaching staff. This is a very serious, heavy financial investment that Carolina has. And while Jeremy Foley's words ring true, what must be done eventually must be done immediately. You got to think of it somewhat rationally. And maybe the people who gave us, it was available to all the students, are now giving us, you broke an NCAA rule. Here it is.
Here's the cause.
Here's the line item in your contract that says you're responsible for the program staying on the up and up with the NCAA.
So this has reached escape velocity. You say the conversations about an exit. Once that gets out there, you cannot put that and use any sort of terminology. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, yada, yada, yada. But it's reached escape velocity where my phone's been nonstop blowing up. The conversation around here has been nonstop about Bill Belichick. I had one college insider tell me, yeah, man, it's a 50-50 chance he is not on a plane to go to Cal next week, along with some other staff members. I had somebody else text me, another insider, saying, hey, look, I get that this is all unfolded in the way that it is, but if you think Bill Belichick is just going to quietly go without his money, you got to remember, and I have to quote this person because it was very, very good. You're forgetting this is a man who lived through a team relocating, I can't read that. Sorry. I'm just going to keep that right there. Anyway, the point being, I can't read that. The point being,
I think we all understand Bill Belichick's super petty. I think
Belichick is incredibly petty, and he's a man who has gone in the dirt to win. I mean, for heaven's sake, the guy was dropping knowledge on ideal gas law. Okay.
Sure.
So if he's a person who's willing to go into the dynamics of ideal gas law over Deflategate, How do you think he's going to handle making sure he gets that buyout? You see what I'm getting at? So Belichick is of that ilk. So it's a battle of UNC's super duper lawyers, as you like to point out, and Belichick's stubbornness. And understand, I also know the loopholes too, because that was also the thing that he was really, really good at when he was in the NFL. I always give him credit for that. He always found those loopholes, man.
One other point from Andrew Jones, again, 247 Sports. Quote, there are many other violations that have occurred, many on the recruiting front. Because remember, when they got there,
they didn't know what they were doing.
You go back to the ESPN piece about they didn't even know how to book a flight. They didn't know anything. So
anyway,
there's certain ways you can break laws that you don't even know. That's the way that the NCAA works. And I just got to say it, man. Like I obviously I have a lot of friends who are state fans. I mean, you couldn't pay any state fan to come up with a script for how poorly this has gone for North Carolina and Bill Belichick. Even the wildest fever dream by an NC State fan would not have come up with this.
No way.
You know what I mean? And even like a Jets fan, a Bills fan, like Steelers fan, name one, right? Colts fan, Deflategate. Like no one could have come up with the way that this has unfolded, how poorly they have played, how uninterested he looks in coaching the football team.
Yeah.
Just every single thing from soup to nuts. This has been a total and complete abject disaster to the point there where we are sitting here logically saying that the administration that gave him all of this money is now scheming to figure out a way to get rid of him before his second ACC game. That's insane, Joe.
I just want to peek at the text messages between Robert Kraft and Tom Brady. That's all I want to look at. And I know with Tom Brady, that phone will disappear. He's done it before. Something to keep an eye on. All right, like yesterday, let's just get right to it. Brendan Marks, the Athletic, sitting down with us at ACC Tipoff on the Heaster Automotive microphone. What's up, man?
Doing great. I came out of hibernation. I haven't seen you guys in months.
Right. I was going to say, where you been, dude?
Been hooping. Been watching hoops.
You're not yet. Tuck it? No?
Don't talk to me like that.
So I jokingly bring that up because I said this yesterday, and I think you agree. We needed a basketball timeline cleanse with how things have been going. And I got to imagine, nobody's going to say it out loud, but I got to imagine that over at UNC, there's please, can we just have some, Hubert, can we just have some basketball? Can we have some normalcy at UNC? It's a really weird time in Chapel Hill right now from what's going on with Bill and kind of the setup for Hubert this upcoming season.
Oh, absolutely. And, it's basketball season in October in Chapel Hill every single year.
True.
But it came faster than ever and harder than ever before.
Dude, I don't know how symbolic that was for you, but watching everybody clear out by the second quarter, it was all right.
Which game?
I got my Luda. No, the Clemson game. I got my Luda. All right, I saw this debacle. Time to go watch the blue-white game.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it was.
Yeah, I was over at the blue-white scrimmage, and there were just as many people there as there were in the lower bowl, by halftime of the Clemson game. And look, I think it sets up well, It was either going to be one of two things for Hubert, right? It was either going to be Bill is this figure, Bill distracts, Bill is good enough that people care about football and maybe it gives you some cover.
Yeah.
And now the complete opposite has happened, where you are, hey buddy,
hey man,
you're our savior now. We need something. So indirectly, this has come around. It's helped Hubert a lot. He's a popular guy in Chapel Hill, and he hasn't played a game yet.
And I don't know, Joe, I don't know what your thought was. A lot of the feedback we got to yesterday's conversation with Hubert Davis was he seemed like he was more relaxed. He seemed a little bit at ease with maybe the group he has, maybe with what this season could be. Do you get the same sense?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I remember talking to him in the summer at Peach Jam and just sort of, hey, you like the size, you like the team, and he's like, it's so nice, I don't have to think about it. And I was like, at what point did you sort of realize this is going to be a problem last year? And he said, I remember being in a huddle in Maui. I think it was the Michigan State game. Late in the game, we're all standing up, and I'm 6'5", and I was looking down at all my players. Not the position you want to be in. He's like, look, I'm looking up a lot more this year. So I think he is comfortable with the team.
Yeah.
At this point, it kind of is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
They gave you the resources. You were able to build a roster. say what you will if you think it is worth the money. I don't sort of,
I hate that conversation.
I do too.
I hate that conversation.
I do too. But look, it's a good team. I think it's a top 25 team. I think it's a team that can win a game or two in the tournament. Do I think it's a Final Four national championship team? Probably not. Is that the Carolina standard? I don't know, but I think this team is going to be one that, like, it's not going to go 1-12 in quad one games this year. And I think that I say that now. I think he's more comfortable with the overall makeup of everything.
I mean, they have a gem in Caleb Wilson, personality-wise.
Oh, my God.
I know that.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I mean, they needed that. I mean, I think what you're saying, more relaxed, I just feel like it's a total reset, which obviously shouldn't happen in year 5.
It should have happened
But
earlier,
here we are.
This is the first time he hasn't had a single Roy Williams player left.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just kind of like,
I've been begging for that.
Yeah.
So you got to make hard choices sometimes. They made a hard choice with Elliot Cadeau.
They did.
They did. Or not a hard choice. They had a hard conversation with Elliot Cadeau.
Correct.
There's a difference.
Hubert has shown the propensity to be able to do that because he did it with Caleb too.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. But, I think you get that reset. You get another look at it. I do think the Belichick stuff helps him early. It takes some of the pressure off of you. But I think we're all in agreement. Come March, you're a Carolina fan. You don't give 2 fucks if Bill went 4-8 or 3-9.
No.
You're still a Carolina fan. You still care about basketball, particularly not only if Duke is running hot over there, but if the reckoning actually happens, now all of a sudden you're going, hey, buddy.
Well, put me down for being on board for the reckoning. I am firmly in the camp of it's happening.
No, you went to practice.
Yes, they are going to be good.
And you're on this Paul McNeil fantasy merchanting.
You're not in my ACC fantasy league, so I feel okay divulging that information. But he was one of the best players there every single day I was there.
Interesting.
Like, he looked sensational. And I was sitting there with an NBA guy, and he was like, "Look, I'm here to see Matt Abel." In all honesty, and you can't stop watching McNeil. But you're completely right about the larger situation.
Yeah.
And you guys are, do you have this on a T-shirt yet? Nothing happens in a vacuum?
Correct.
Well, we can.
Brandon.
We can.
Guys, come on, print it.
We got all the stickers here. Maybe we should put it. We got the upside down triangle good sticker if you want.
You guys got to print it. But that is the thing. Look, Duke has been good. Duke is going to be good.
Yeah.
That's going for as long as John is at Duke.
Yeah.
They are going to be good. If NC State starts to run the way that I think they are capable of running this year, you can't be third. I think it'll be competitive.
I think it's going to be fun. It might not be fun for the coaches involved, but it's going to be fun for us.
When was the last time all 3 of them were legitimately top 25 caliber?
So we were having
15 is the answer.
Yeah.
2015.
Yeah, we were having this conversation with Luke, and it's been decades since they were all good, but not, I would say good, but also not what Will Wade's brought to the table.
No.
You see what I'm getting at?
Yes.
It's a completely different vibe.
Yes.
Right now because of Wade, because there's also an element with Wade that I think is under-discussed here, is that apparently he can coach. It's not just strong-ass offers. He's not just a gangster. It's not. I read the Candid Coaches at CBS, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. You mean he can coach too?
I told you this yesterday, but sitting down with Boo Corrigan and Boo talking about the search process, and we're doing our due diligence on guys, and he said intentionally.
The money people told me to hire him,
correct.
So I did.
But he said I intentionally tried speaking to people who I didn't know, who I knew would know Will.
Yeah.
And the range of responses that he got back was anywhere from he's not as bad as his reputation suggests to I fucking hate that guy. But not a single one of them said he can't coach.
Right.
And so it was I hate him
because,
but damn, can he coach?
Yeah.
And that I think is the end of the day. Like, look, he got talent. They're gonna. I'm in. I am buying them.
Okay.
I rank them 4th in our athletic preseason conference rankings. If they finish 2nd in the league this year, I would not at all be surprised.
Yeah, I don't know what State fans are going to do with having a coach that the basketball Illuminati actually like. The Jeff Goodman, the Field 68 guys are upstairs because they get special treatment, and I understand. But they all love that dude.
Yeah.
And that they're not used to that. Goodman likes my coach? What?
Right?
Like, State fans are going to have a hard time processing that.
Goodman helped State get their coach?
Yeah.
Huh?
Question mark? Question mark? Question mark?
This is weird.
No.
You know what?
That's an exclamation
Yeah.
point.
You know what? You know what it is? Goodman loves the Canes so much
Yes.
that he's like, well,
Okay, fine.
I'm here.
Sure,
I'm here
sure.
enough.
I need to give myself something else to
Fine.
check in on.
I might
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
I might as well.
But no, I'm in on it.
So we're going to air our conversation with Jon Scheyer after this. And I did jokingly start the conversation with, so what's it like being under the radar this year? And it's funny because what I love about college basketball more than anything else is we look at the result and we just decide, all right, this is how you're supposed to do it. And I've seen this at Duke plenty of times, man, where they get a class that comes in and everybody's losing their minds. They don't win, or they win, but they don't win the title. And then people just kind of, all right, on to the next thing. This recruiting class is not as good as it used to be. To me, in my history of watching Duke basketball, that's usually when they actually do something that will surprise you.
Yeah.
I feel like that's this group.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think it is a fallacy that a lot of people are committing and will continue to commit, comparing everything to last year.
Of course.
Yeah.
That was an all-timer.
Not all 5 stars are created equal.
Yeah.
That was an all-timer. I mean, that is going to be John's 99.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is the one.
Without listening to our conversation.
Yeah, I was going to say, funny. Preview to the conversation with Scheyer. I mean, 99 comes up.
That is going to be his 99.
Yeah.
And, like, I think Cam Boozer's going to be the best player on that team. I
Yeah.
think he's going to be the best player in the league. Are they, like, being... You're not buying it?
Not all 5 stars
They're
are
not
created equal.
They're not. And I look at everybody else there, and, like, the thing that made Duke so good last year, obviously Cooper was Cooper, but it was the fact that you had Knipple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Knipple is the best player on a lot of Duke teams. He's the best player on a lot of tournament teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for him to have been able to just be like Robin the whole season,
He's going to bring a championship to Charlotte, so get ready.
something like that.
Maybe.
I think they have
Summerlin
an interesting
championship.
group of parts on
Yes.
this team. It's an interesting challenge for John to put them together and make it work. I understand the twin magic works a little bit. So do you make the other Boozer the point guard full time? Do you take somebody? Like, that's all things. Those are all things he's going to have to figure out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The other thing I think is even beyond that, it's like,
To quote the immortal words of Mark Godfrey, here's the thing about twins. There's 2 of them.
wise beyond his years. Wise beyond his years.
One of the great Gottman quotes of all time.
Are we talking about the Martin twins?
Yes.
We are actually
we
talking
have to-
about the
we
Martin
got- we
You
have
do have to clarify.
We
You
have to clarify now.
clarify.
Here's the thing about twins.
Yeah. Look.
There's 2 of them.
I'm
the only one who gave Cody a scholarship.
What more do you need to say? No, I like the pieces. I think the pieces are interesting. You know, I will say this. I do have concerns about this team.
Yeah, who's going to shoot?
The guards.
Who's your stroker?
Who's your lead?
It's Juice, right?
Yeah, who's your lead guard? And last year you had, a big man go down and you had some issues. And this year you have a big man with a foot problem and you have a big man who's dealing with a knee scope who had a shoulder injury last year that basically cost him the postseason.
Yeah. But they have Malik back. They have Caleb. I mean, they have more veteran presence this year than I feel like they've had in other years. This is the kid I'm fascinated by. This Dame Sarr has got me spinning my wheels. I texted my Carolina guy. I go, did Duke just get their best basketball player in July? He was like, well, he's really good. Yeah, I don't know if he's their best player. I said, okay.
He's got to be good.
Mark my words on this one.
He's got to be good.
My
He's got
spidey
to,
senses are tingling on this one.
Because with the Coward fallout, fallout, going pro and getting drafted, we got picked what?
Is he in the Brotherhood? I should have asked John
11.
that.
11th, yeah. No, good.
Not in the Brotherhood?
No.
Not in the Brotherhood.
Ah.
You actually have to suit up to be in the Brotherhood.
I mean, Kyrie
He might be in the. He played actually.
Okay.
You're right.
It's fair.
Some are saying.
No, I'm with you on that, but the Coward thing definitely threw them for a little bit of loop, and to be able to pull that out in July, again, that's a testament to what John's being able to do.
Unreal.
Yeah. I mean, and to basically
Rachel.
basically steal,
and Rachel Baker, yeah.
Well, I mean, to basically steal him from Kansas, like,
Yep.
and Duke has always had the ability to do that. Hasn't always consistently. Like Kay would have. There's no question that Kay would have gotten that done. I think if I'd asked you 3 years ago, could John have gotten that done? You would have said maybe. And now I have no doubt that he did it.
Yeah.
He did it. Sarr is an interesting piece. I'll say this about John. He's proven that he wants to have 3 things, but he's willing to sacrifice on one of them. He
Okay.
wants size.
Yeah.
He wants versatility, and he wants experience. Last year he brought in that, and this year with Coward he would have had it. He's willing to sacrifice on the experience if he gets the other 2.
Yes.
Which is why their schedule is just a meat grinder at the start of the year.
But there's a point to that.
Absolutely.
There's an absolute. I mean, that if anything, that's old school Coach K.
Yep.
Like, hey guys, we're playing for March.
Yep.
What we're doing in November, December,
Yeah.
January. Hey man, let's not wake me up, but like it's all building to this.
Yes.
And we'll see how it goes for him. I'm seeing Louisville walk around. It's a great transition point. You buying or selling this? People are Pat Kelsey year 2. People are like, hey man, they might sneaky win the league over Duke this year.
I mean, I could see it. I think they have the good. Like, I'll put it to you this way. Isaac McNeely was at a lot of people's transfer boards.
Yeah.
And he's probably their third best transfer.
Okay.
Like, Isaac McNeely was the only player at Virginia last year. Respectfully.
True.
I mean,
true.
You know who you're talking to, right? We're not in the studio. I get it, but he's the guy who broke NC State shit. I mean, so.
But
and I even said the brother was going to lose in Raleigh because of the stink of poor Isaac McNeely.
Yeah. But I mean you
think it's coming back around?
I will never
redemption.
I will
The
never.
redemption.
I mean, I'll never forget that shot. What do you think Michael O'Connell's doing right now?
Well, no, he missed the free throw too.
I know. What do you think Michael O'Connell's doing right now? Just selling an infinite amount of insurance in the greater Raleigh area.
He's gonna be working on Wall Street pretty quickly.
Yeah.
He's gonna be doing really well.
No, but I think like Louisville has the horses. Does it have the coach? I mean, there's one thing like last year, and Kelsey just said this upstairs. Last year, Louisville could do no wrong.
They had nowhere to go.
Except when it fucking mattered.
Right.
I mean,
But making the tournament for them was gravy. Fans were elated. When was the last time Louisville fans were elated at making the tournament?
The last time Louisville won an NCAA championship game was 2017.
Yeah.
That's insane to me.
It's insane.
tournament game. Yeah.
Yeah, tournament game, an NCAA tournament game.
When was the last time Virginia won one?
2019.
I mean, that was kind of a big one. So there you go. And that's where we'll close on this. In order for the league to be good, there are certain teams that have to be good. We've already covered this with NC State.
Yep.
Wake is one of those teams. At some point, Steve Forbes like, let's go, man. We love Steve Forbes. But like, let's get this thing going. Virginia is the most fascinating to me because when Virginia basketball is a player, and I know they've got a long history and what Tony Bennett tried to overcome and all that kind of stuff. But when they're running hot, it elevates that Carolina-Virginia game. It elevates, like we saw in the Zion
Virginia.
years,
Yeah.
those Duke-Virginia games. Ryan Odom's working with what? I mean, is it a Pat Kelsey quick turnaround or what?
Oh, for sure.
What are we dealing with here with Ryan Odom?
Actually, it's funny. I remember talking to you guys in the spring when Will got hired.
Yeah.
And when he was first starting to put the roster together, and they didn't have, they had Holloman on board, but they didn't have Darrion Williams yet. Mm-hmm. They were still sort of getting the pieces together. And you guys saying NC State fans are not signing up for and paying for anything short of a complete quick flip.
Yeah.
Virginia, I think, has a lot of similarities there.
Okay.
I'm not going to say the Virginia way is dead, but Tony's way is a thing of the past. Mm-hmm. And won a national championship, one of the best coaches in ACC history, all-timer, Hall of Famer, all that good stuff.
Let him coast on that like Dave Matthews Band. Coasting on all their records.
For this era, they needed to be more modern. And they did. They have money. They spent money. They got internationals. They got top guys in the portal. Like, there's no more slow cooking. There's no more marinating. There's no more stacking players. Like, Virginia is playing the same game as everybody else. And for the past couple of years, it didn't necessarily feel like that. I 100% think they can flip this immediately. Like, if they don't make the tournament this year, I'd be very surprised. Let's put it that way.
Same.
Brendan Marks, The Athletic. All right, man. Before we say goodbye, when you walk by Bank of America Stadium, do you get a little wistful?
Not
like, man,
what could have been?
What could have been?
I mean, I
could be covering this.
I was there when it fell apart. Maybe I need to go back.
See, speaking of redemption,
maybe I need to go back.
Well, look, I've explained this. I am trying to find a 2015 Bud Light Super Bowl can unopened. I can find any number of bottom open display Super Bowl 50 Panthers, Broncos, Bud Light cans. I cannot find a full one. I am willing to pay top dollar for a full one. If there's any Panthers fans that are listening to this, and I put it out on social media, if you find one, I'll pay top dollar, and I will drink that room temperature in order to reverse whatever it is. I feel like that's the only thing that can do this. Maybe I'll pour a little bit out outside Bank of America.
I'll leave you guys with this. I mean, I learned a lot in that Panthers locker room.
Yeah.
But I kind of knew it was all falling apart the day that Luke Kuechly snapped in there. And it was me, Joe Person, and David Newton. And they were talking about going from either a 3-4 to a 4-3, whenever they did one of those flips.
Yeah.
And Kuechly goes, we asked him a question. Does it let you do this? He had been struggling. You guys don't get it. Okay, well, can you explain it to us then? And, I mean, the whole, you saw the switch flip, and, all of a sudden it felt like that was when you knew, okay, this is probably not going to last much longer.
Got it. Got it. When you say it flipped, it went like I'm back on the field mode.
I mean,
that
like,
look in his eye?
I wasn't afraid of getting sacked, but I was.
Oh.
I mean, I
got you.
I think David Newton took a few steps back. I'll put it that way.
Well, you know what?
I'm going to leave it at that.
I'm just going to leave it right there.
Yeah.
Brendan Mars, The Athletic. Great stuff as always, man. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Housekeeping brought to you by Innovana. Check them out. Green Cleaning Solutions. We talk about the cleanse, right? Basketball cleanse. Cleanse your house. Call Innovana.
If you have mess inside your mansion or trash in your cabana, get it clean with Innovana.
Thursday afternoon at the local in Raleigh, across from Lenovo Center. Jon Scheyer will be hitting play on a bunch of interviews that he has done live. We talked to Seth.
We sound slightly nefarious.
We talked to Seth Jarvis last week. Fun conversation with him. We'll bring you that conversation on Thursday. You're gonna be at there 4:30 with Chip Patterson. You got tickets to give away.
We do.
So
We do. Section 303, Giglio approved seats.
So drop on by the local. We got stuff for you, and I believe we will have OG Light on tap.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
The local. So be on the lookout for that. Again, that's Thursday, starting at 4:30 for the Carolina Hurricanes season opener. We're going to be taking lots of hockey breaks here soon. I'm very, very excited about this. And while you're running around trying to make sure you got everything done and you don't have to go back to the studio for an emergency podcast, well, maybe that does happen, but you're hungry. You need to pick me up. Happy Inhale, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's take a break. Let's take a hockey break. Brought to you by Happy Inhale.
So check them out. Download the app today. Happy Inhale. Use that promo code OG25 for one-time 25% off your order. Schedule a pickup and go. Life is about balance. We're talking about healthy but hearty action at Happy Inhale. But also, sometimes you do that and then make up that deficit by going to Two Roosters. We're mentioning hockey, right? Well, you have a nice, sensible lunch at Happy Inhale. Feeling good. And then you can save all that up for the Slavin Sunday later in the day.
Good choices.
So go to tworoosters.com and check them out at the arena. They've got two locations. They got the main brick and mortar one there at the bottom, and they got the cart upstairs in the Giglio approved areas of the arena. So check them out, tworoosters.com. Hey, look, maybe you're so hype about Two Roosters. I've mentioned this before. You want to call Hometown Realty and say, hi, I would like to find a new house, and I want it to be in one of their various Two Roosters locations, maybe Durham, maybe Raleigh, who knows, Wake Forest. I just want to be near Two Roosters. You can tell Hometown Realty that, and they'll work on it. That is customer service. So check them out online at myhtr.com. Again, that's myhtr.com. And, of course, Whitaker and Hamer. Speaking of lawyers, to get you out of things, hit them up, wh.lawyer.
I hit them up.
Do you have a $20 million contract that you need to negotiate your way out of it? Do we have some people for you? Whitaker and Hamer. Check them out. wh.lawyer. Yeah, we spent 35 minutes with Will Wade like 2 weeks ago. What's three more? Thanks for sitting down. Speed questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's go.
All right, your first win over a Division I team was against this team in this city.
I have no idea. I'm gonna say, gosh, I think it was in Chattanooga, probably.
No, pay close attention to the question. Division I team.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know we won a Division I game before we beat like Maine or Grand Canyon in that Dr. Pepper Classic my first year.
Okay.
Wow.
I think we beat Maine and Grand Canyon in the Dr. Pepper Classic my first year at Chattanooga. I'd be shocked if we won a division. Oh, no. It was in Las Vegas.
There you go.
It was in Las.
Coming back to you.
coming
now.
back.
It was in Las Vegas against IUPUI.
Okay.
Is that right?
That is correct.
Nailed it.
That's right.
In
Okay, there we
Vegas.
go. I got it.
87-76. All right.
Hey, by the way, did you look at the attendance on that game?
No.
There's like my family and my wife now. There was under 30 people in the actual arena.
Friends and
It
family
was played
only.
at the Orleans Arena. There was
Yes.
under 30 people at the Orleans Arena. We ate Thanksgiving at the buffet at the
Amazing.
casino.
You can
there.
still smell the smoke
All
from
right,
the
we got 90,
Orleans
Oh,
Arena.
yeah.
90 seconds. 90 seconds.
In terms of outperforming your preseason KenPom ranking, this was the best coaching job of your career. Which season?
Oh, I have no clue.
Wow, I thought you were a Ken Palm guy.
I am, but I don't have any. I don't pay attention to myself, so I don't have a clue. Maybe my first year at Chattanooga.
Very close. Your second year at Chattanooga, you improved by 119 spots.
Whew.
But your first year at McNeese,
Oh yeah.
preseason 186, postseason 67. True or false? You have a winning record against the ACC.
False. I have no clue.
True or false? It is false. You're 3-6 against the ACC. You might want to work on that if the reckoning's coming.
3 and 6 ain't gonna cut it.
No, it's probably not. This is the only charter member of the ACC without an official conference title in men's basketball.
Florida State.
Clemson.
Clemson.
This was the nickname for NC State teams before the Wolfpack was officially adopted in 1948. You're very close on this in your introductory press conference.
It starts with red.
Starts with red. It's not the reckoning.
The Red Wolves.
Terrors.
Red Terrors.
The Red Terrors. I like that.
Red Terrors.
See?
Might want to bring that one
I
back.
like that.
Bring
The
it
Red
back for your
Terrors. I like
socials.
that. I like that.
20 seconds. You get in the car. The Bluetooth connects. What's coming through the speakers?
Nothing.
0? You're a quiet car guy?
Yep.
Might be a serial
The
killer.
Bluetooth connects. It'll be a phone call.
Oh. Yeah,
That-
always,
you know what?
always be prudent.
That tells me that's interesting. I like that. Will Wade, NC State head coach. Thanks, man.
Thanks, guys.
Joining us on the Heister Automotive Group microphone is Darrion Williams, NC State. We are the second interview for you.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna set the table. You're gonna get all this is the car wash, man. You're gonna get all sorts of crazy questions. What's your favorite meal?
I actually, are you asking me?
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen. I'm preparing you right now.
Oh, okay.
What's your favorite meal?
It's probably just some buffalo wings.
All right, yeah, that's a good basic. That's a good basic thing. So, all right, man. So you're here. You're with Coach Wade. What has been the first thing that stuck out being around NC State with a different kind of Wolfpack? Not that Nevada Wolfpack for back in the day, but the Wolfpack, right? So what's been your takeaway so far?
Just how much the city loves State. Honestly, I would have assumed they like the other two schools around campus, but no, they love State and they hate those two. So.
Well, it's funny you mention that. So I'm going to give you this sticker, right? So this is our drunk wolf, right?
Yeah.
So, and to your point about loving NC State, the fans will end up like this one of two ways, okay? You're either going to win and they're going to get like this because they're so happy, or it might not be so great and they're going to end up like this. That's NC State in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Got
lot
it?
of wins, though.
Yeah, this will be wins. This
Yeah.
will be wins. So, but yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that. Were you surprised that it's I know you said you got Duke and Carolina there and stuff, but you were truly surprised by that?
Yeah, I mean, not truly surprised, but I just would have thought it would have been more kind of balanced, but it's really just heavy State, at least the parts I'm around.
Sure, that makes sense.
Heavy State, so that, and then just the city that they show love for basketball and football and all the sports, really. So, it's like, and being in a main city is a little different because I've been in two kind of college towns, so having a little more to do on days you just at the crib. So, yeah.
This is how I prepped for our interview. I got to know if it's on your phone, man. I'm going to show you this from YouTube. Look at this.
Oh, the Arkansas game?
Yeah.
Like what?
No, this is the play.
Oh.
This is you being just beasting somebody.
Yeah, I remember.
All right, we'll watch it. Just pushing him down, a little kiss, rolls in. How you feel just watching that again?
Yeah.
Look at the replay. Just manhandling that guy. And then here comes the help. Fuck the help. I'm shooting over the help.
I know his brother, so I was talking mess to his brother before the game.
Were you?
So in the middle of the game, it was looking a little shaky, but
middle of the game. Shit, you guys were down late, man.
Yeah.
That was a big rally. So every time we talk to a coach, they love to tell you about their losses. They hate to tell you about your wins. That's obviously a great moment in Texas Tech history, NCAA tournament history. You probably were in the one shining moment with that, right? Mm-hmm. So, do you remember that more than the Florida game, or do you remember the bad more than the good?
For me, I remember the Florida game because I feel I missed a few shots and a few free throws that could have let Walton Clayton hit some shots over me that could have sent us to where we need to go or where we should have went. But but just the high of that game and seeing everybody in the stands go crazy was definitely one of the highest I've ever been.
That's a great experience to have. Both parts of it are a great experience to have. Obviously, the win more so. How do you try to carry that over to NC State? Because this is a year-to-year proposition, and I don't think I'm speaking out of turn here. I think you're going to be the bus driver for this team, and this team's going to need you to have moments like that, but also explain to them, like, hey, this is our shot. This is our opportunity. We can't, there ain't no next year now.
Yeah. We have a lot of older guys, so we all know it's not no next year. I think we have a lot of older, experienced guys, though. Like, Ven's been in the tournament. Trey Holloman was in the Elite Eight, same as me last year. Elite Eight last year.
Arsenault, too.
Arsenault was
Final
in
Four.
that championship team, and every other guy is hungry to get there. From wherever they came from, everybody's looking forward to win. I think we have a lot of guys that are better than what people give them credit for, and everybody will see it soon.
I get that there's a financial portion of this equation, but you could have gone back to Texas Tech and run it back with them. Why did you feel like you needed to come here to play for Will and take a run at it at a different school?
Financial wasn't my main point. I could have went other places and got more than what I ended up getting, but I think Tech, honestly, I think when I was doing the draft process, I think they had kind of completed their roster, and then I just felt like I needed to come get a fresh start at state. And Coach Wade, just the transparency with everything that he had, the good and the bad with my game and what where I want to go and what I want to do. He just laid it all out there and what I need to get better at, what he sees me as, and where he sees I can get to. And he was just straight up honest with everything. He didn't say anything I really wanted to hear, like a couple of other coaches that were calling me around. He said the stuff that I really needed to hear. So that's what really attracted me to him.
Okay. I.e., this is how I can get you to the NBA, or
how I can pursue the NBA.
Okay. There's been a lot of talk this week about Paul McNeil.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to me now. I know he's a shooter.
Yeah.
Because these national guys are losing their mind over him this week. What's going on at practice? Is Paul McNeil like Steph Curry in practice? Like what is happening?
I mean, he's just one of those guys when he you try and find him. Honestly, when he shoots it, sometimes you don't crash and coach gets mad, but normally he makes them at probably a 40 or 50% clip. So. He's been really good. I think he was underutilized last year watching some of the old NC State games, and I think he's ready for a breakout year. He puts as much work in as anybody, and he loves NC State more than anybody. So I think he just wants us to win.
You used some numbers there. I went to Coach's preseason press conference. He was firing off some numbers. He could probably tell you about your lower body strength and how that translates into a win share.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's why he went after you, to be perfectly honest with you. Not that I'm admiring your legs or anything, but are you impressed by can you follow all of these numbers that he gives you guys?
No,
you can't.
Even on my recruiting visit, I didn't even know some of the numbers he was saying. But did
he give you the win share about the lower body strength?
No, he didn't say that like
he
that.
dropped that on us, and I'm like what?
All right.
Wait, you're going to have to explain this to me at some point.
It's working.
Yeah,
it's working.
He cranks the numbers out, and he's super smart and super diligent with everything he does, and he just knows everything in and out, and that's how he likes it, because he doesn't want to miss anything and look back later and be like, oh snap, I missed this, I missed that. So he wants to know everything.
Has Ven-Allen Lubin given you any sort of gossip talk
about who?
UNC?
Nah,
coming over?
Nah, I feel like they didn't. Whatever happened with Ven is what they did with them, but I feel like the coach over there did another one of my teammates wrong, and Kerwin Walton, when he was over there.
That's right. Wow, that's a callback. That is a callback.
So
how do you know Kerwin?
He played for Texas Tech.
That's right. I forgot about that.
So I don't really like that guy, so I'll see him soon.
Oh, well, they will like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the dynamic. I mean, you've picked up on that, right? I don't know if Ven, because it's an interesting spot for him in that he was playing there last year, now he's with you guys, so he knows that dynamic, obviously. He's still coming over here.
He's on the better side now.
I almost want to ask him, I'm like, all right, which colorway do you like the most? Was it, we got Notre Dame, we got Vanderbilt, we got UNC, we got State, right?
Yep.
It's like, which colorway does he look good in? Maybe red is the one, right?
Red for sure.
There it is.
Are you okay with spelling Wolfpack without the space and as one word now? Like, your first year was at Nevada. They're the Wolf space pack because NC State sued them. I don't know if you know that. Back in the day, they did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because they have a copyright to Wolfpack.
Yeah.
So Nevada was basically like, well, fuck you. We're going to make it two words. Capital W, capital P.
Yep.
So you have the Wolf space pack.
Yeah.
Chambers, your former assistant coach, or now, right?
Yep.
He was at Nevada, and he coached the Twins too. So you have a little bit of NC State knowledge in your back pocket there.
Yeah, a lot of Nevada ties on the team. We have a guy, JoJo, who's on the staff too. He was at Nevada for a little bit. He was there. Coach Chambers was there right before I left, and right before I went there. Sorry, and when Muss left, he left. So,
okay. I mean, Reno, Raleigh, same, right?
Different sides of the U.S., but
sorry, I'm still, and we'll get you out of here on this. I'm still processing. It's one thing that I still struggle with the transfer portal. And you guys come up together, you guys play together. I'm assuming you still keep up with everybody, despite the fact that you might be going from team to team and things like that. So how does that affect you? Because honestly, I'd forgotten Kerwin Walton because he's not in our backyard anymore. So I completely had forgotten, and my brain went blank on that one. But I guess what I'm getting at is, from a player's perspective, how does it differ from a fan's perspective? Fans, they want to get behind the team. They want to get behind the player. They want the player to be there for X amount of time, and they can really put your arms around you.
Yeah.
But from a player's perspective, is it just about your situation? Is it just about, I want to be with these guys because my guys are going here? How does that work for you in those decisions and how you compete? Because everything's a little bit different now.
Yeah, I think for everybody it's a little different. Everybody's situation is different.
Yeah.
I think fans want everybody to stay around for all 4 of their 5 years, but if guys feel like they can get a better opportunity somewhere, I always feel like you have to do what's best for you at the end of the day, because the only life it affects is winning games and stuff affects other people's lives, but really what you do individually affects you. And then for me, I try to look at what was the best opportunity for me. And from my Nevada team, there's actually a lot of Mountain West people that I play in the ACC now. Like Nick Davison at Clemson was my roommate.
That's what I'm getting.
Is that right?
Yeah, we were roommates, and I still talk to him. So it's cool seeing him. One of my Tech teammates is at Georgia Tech, Lamar Washington. He's over there. Ryan, I never forgot how to say his last name, from Cal. I played him when he was at Air Force.
Okay.
When we were both freshmen.
Okay.
Freshman of the year race between me and him. So, it's just a lot of Virginia Hall. He was at BYU, played him. So, it's just, there's a lot of similar. Everybody, some people, it's better for them to stay. I think I love my 2 years at Tech. Wish it would have been a third maybe, but I think I made the best decision for me.
Yeah. I guess, now to clarify, I think what Joe's kind of getting at here, because you're going to get a little traction on social media by saying what you said about Hubert, okay? Just so you know.
That's fine.
But you don't dislike him because of Carolina and State. It's because of something from one of your teammates.
Personal.
Yeah,
it's a
personal
thing. At UNC,
that's well, now it's UNC, but before you didn't even know anything about that. You know what I mean? So it's like his connection's more with the players that you play against. Growing up, you play against guys. You see guys in college. You connect with those guys, and then you change spots. But then you're like, oh yeah, I remember you from Air Force. I remember you from the Mountain West. I remember you from the Big 12.
The competitive switch is different now.
Yeah.
Rather than
not schools and
not
coaches.
Schools. It's, hey man, I remember when I saw you when you were playing. Oh, you're in this league now. All right. I'm going to get you here.
Back.
We'll run it back. We'll get you here. The competitive switch is a little bit different now. I guess is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, and you run into certain guys that you played against from different conferences if you both leave or if you both just end up playing each other.
Yeah.
Like Uday at Miami, we had a couple good games when he was at TCU. So.
Hey, Darrion, we appreciate the time, man. Have fun this season.
Good luck.
Joining us on the Heistra Automotive Group microphone at ACC Tipoff is Ven-Allen Lubin in an NC State hoodie now. Look, we're like your third or fourth interview. I'm guessing you're prepared for the UNC State questions?
Oh, yeah. Just get them coming.
Let's just rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, just keep them coming.
Actually, what Joe and I figured out, though, is that you're like a triangle legend just by who you've been around with, if you think about it. I mean, if you go all the way back to Notre Dame.
You are the most ACC person ever. You're with Bray, former Duke assistant, one of the all-time great characters in the ACC. At Vanderbilt, you're with Jerry Stackhouse, one of the great all-time players at Carolina. Then obviously you're at Carolina last year, and now here you are at State, man. Like, you are Johnny ACC.
Yeah, pretty much.
So how did this, for us, older people, older fans, even older coaches, they see the switch. And I know Dontrez Styles did it once already, but he had to stop in between. From your mindset, does any of that stuff even matter anymore? Is it just a matter of what's the right fit, and if it happens to be across the town that somebody views as a rival, hey man, so be it? Is that just how it is now?
That's kind of how it was for me to making my decision.
Yeah.
I'm not going to speak for everybody, whoever was going through this process as well and, made that decision. Just for me, just knowing that what I want to do for what's best for me and my future, for my family, because it's something that I want to be in a program where, I want to be valued and be able to, to put me in a position to be successful. And I just believe that, when I got the call from NC State, from Will Wade, just to type of character he is and type of coach he is, it was kind of hard to, resist and pass the opportunity, Obviously for me, being from Florida, not really, from North Carolina to understand the intensity of the rivalry.
And now you do, though.
Now I do. Now
you do.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I received the heat after.
I was gonna say you get a crash course in that, and that's what I wanted to focus in on was conversations with Will Wade. We chatted with him 2 weeks ago, and ironically, we always talk about NIL and how is this all going to be packaged together, but it seems that everybody has that. So if the money's the money, how do you differentiate? And I'm noticing the trend here. It's about how am I going to be used? What are the facilities like? Where can you get me to be? So what was that conversation with Wade that made you go, all right, this is where I'm going?
It's really just the way how I want to be used, within, the program. I think that the way I was used before I got to college was something that I was really happy and enjoyed playing the game of basketball and just use the right way to be able to impact winning on both ends of the floor. And I believe that, all the programs that I've been on, I believe that I was able to, fit into my role, into my identity, just to be able to help the team. Because I just want to be able to be on the floor, just to impact winning as much as I can. It doesn't have to be about scoring or having the ball in my hands 24/7, but I just want to be used the right way. And I believe that with the events that occurred from all 3 schools was just something that was unfortunate, but I know that everything happens for a reason. It just led me here, and to a coach that will value me, will use me the right way.
Oddly enough, it was a game against NC State last year, which really started your run of double figures to end the season. What clicked for you at the end of last season at UNC?
I was just determined to find a way. I think that we were in a situation where we didn't want to be, and to know that we were better than what we were producing and what was going on in the season. And for me, it was just like whether it was a conversation with a coach or praying and the prayers and just the conversation within myself was just something that I had to do something about it. And just for me, just being more aggressive and asserting myself more when I'm on the court was just something that just flipped the switch for me. Just something that I didn't want to keep rolling. That seemed like it was working, and something that I wish would have happened early on. But I'm glad that it happened and never.
So what did you do with all your UNC gear?
I still have them.
You have it?
I still have
them. So do you have all of the stuff? You got Vanderbilt, you got Notre Dame?
Oh, yeah. Did you keep
you got everything?
I got some of everything. More UNC because, obviously over time I gave it away from family and friends.
Yeah. I was going to say, because, I don't know, you might have a favorite hoodie. And I'm like, yeah, man, I know it's not the team I'm on right now, but that Vanderbilt hoodie, it feels right.
Yeah, it would have been. I had a Notre Dame to Vanderbilt, but fortunately I kept growing and it stopped fitting me, so I had to let it go, unfortunately.
There's that too.
As one of the guys who does understand the ACC and understand the dynamics, it's not just State, Carolina. There's Duke. There's Wake. How do you try to get through to your teammates? Like, okay, guys, we're going to play a few games here that they'll know, obviously, right? Kansas, Auburn, when they come to town. But how do you kind of explain to them, hey, man, this one kind of matters to the fan base, a Wake or a Duke or some of those other ones?
Yeah, so I think every conference matchup just really matters more, especially within in this state. And something that I know I can't really completely prepare them for it. That's something that they're going to have to experience themselves. But just me, as a veteran of the ACC, just something to, provide those information to them, just to tell them, like, hey, it's going to get real, it's going to get nasty, it's going to get, very, very intense. And just something to be prepared for it, just continue to be strong, be strong-minded and just have a great attitude when it comes to approaching the game and towards the end of the game as well, because you do one little slip up and it can really impact, winning or losing. And so something for me just to be able to provide that type of information, that type of experience to them will definitely help them.
Ven-Allen, Lubin, I appreciate you dropping by. Enjoy the rest of the questions you'll get about NC State and UNC. Just kind of setting the table for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, man. Take it easy.
You too.
Big thanks to Hubert Giglio, is doing his best Hurricanes impression today.
The U.
He got all about the U. We'll talk to Jay Lucas a little bit. Speaking of the U, but that's not why you're wearing that. It's not for Jay Lucas.
No. This is my favorite zip, man. And it's like Ireland is like the whole theme of it. It never even occurred to me, although the U banner is like staring at me right there. And I'm like, I guess I kind of see it.
Yeah. So check them out, rowback.com. Use that promo code OG20. And Timmy Ann, no, I thought about wearing the shacket like every day this week, but I had to give it a break. I brought out the chambray today. The old faithful chambray today, because, you get fat and you can't button things anymore. So they just become layering shirts. That's my deal. That's my deal right now. And that rowback shacket is a great layering piece. It's incredibly comfortable. I love it so much, I'm going to get the brown version. You should. They got 2 colors.
Jameis has the brown version.
I think I could pull that off.
You can.
I could pull that off. So check them out, rowback.com. Use that promo code OG20. You're like, man, I'm buying so much rowback. How do I save money? Well, yeah, you do the OG20, but you also say, hey, Matt Davis, State Farm. So I got this thing where I keep buying rowback stuff. I need to save a little money. What do I do here? And Matt's be like, I got you, fam.
I have a rowback addiction.
I got you, fam. So hit him up, 919-779-8277, insuregarner.com. He's going to find ways to save money on home and auto insurance for you, but you have to have the conversation. 919-779-8277. And if you do call Matt Davis and you say, hey, Matt, I have a rowback problem. I need to save money on home and auto. Please let us know. Please let us know. We might send you something. I don't know. Maybe we'll pull something from the Color Graphic locker room. Some old stuff. Big thanks to Color Graphic. They brought you the Brief History of Triangle Good over the summer. They are our official social media sponsor. And if you need something done, car wrap, signage, I'm looking at all these flags around here for ACC Tipoff. They can do that for you. All you have to do is go to sales@colorgraphic.com. Again, that's sales@colorgraphic.com. And of course, our friends at Mosquito Authority and Pest Authority, check them out online at bugsbite.com. We're in fall mode right now. It's going to start getting cold. You're going to start maybe dealing with some moisture from the rain that we've been having. Any number of things that affect your house with bugs, critters, moisture. Hey, here's what you do. Go to bugsbite.com. They have solutions for you. Your mic is limp, Joe.
No, I want you to say goodbye to your family, Joe.
Why?
Starting today for 49 consecutive days.
Oh, you saw the Brett McMurphy
There
trade?
will be a college football or NFL game played every day until November 26th.
Just absolutely.
The fun starts tonight with Missouri State and Middle Tennessee.
That's some sickos behavior, man. Absolute sickos.
Sorry, babe. I gotta watch Middle Tennessee and Missouri State.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Joining us on the Heister Automotive Group microphone at ACC Tipoff is head coach Duke basketball. He is Jon Scheyer. Welcome.
Good to be with you guys.
Another year.
I'm always, you guys put me on the spot with something every year. There's going to be something good. I know we're going to, you guys are going to stump me on. I know.
No. We're not going to hit you with Skokie, Illinois this year. Well, you know what? Fine. Let's go there. What's it like being under the radar this year?
Yeah, it's look, I'm for whatever motivation our players need. And so let's go there. I hope we are underrated.
It's interesting. You go from, the laser focus on all things Cooper Flag to you have some good players this year. I mean, you got the Boozer twins, obviously, but it's almost like, all right, on to the next shiny object. So how do you process that? Do your kids care about any of this stuff? Like, how does that work for you?
Yeah, I think naturally you feel it and you can pay some attention to it, of course. I think end of the day, we always talk about controlling what you can control. And, like that narrative wouldn't have mattered if, after we're 4-2, if we didn't go on a big winning streak in my mind. Like you have to do it at the end of the day. So regardless of preseason rankings, predictions, it's about what you do. And so I think this team has everything, all the tools necessary, all the pieces. We got to figure out how it comes together. But that's my thing. Like, let's control what we can control. At the end of the day, the messaging will be based on what we do.
So every year stacks, you learn something, right? And I know in our world, teams win. Well, that's how you have to win in basketball.
Right.
And then you exit like, well, clearly you can't because ... right? How do you view that? What do you see year to year? What data have you collected and what are you trying to apply?
I think the biggest thing is you're trying to find value where you can find it. And so for us last year, in terms of building a roster, well, Sion James and Mason Gillis as grad transfers, that was great value where we could find it. Malik Brown in the same spot. This year, made a decision late in the year. Look, we have less college experience than I would like, but the value of getting a Dame Sarr who's played in Barcelona and has big-time talent is great value. You know, Sebastian Wilkins, to get him, and we only have 10 players to play. But for me, I don't think you can say there's one way of doing it. I think you got to have an identity and stick to it, but also find value. So again, we doubled down on size and skill this year. Maybe a little bit different next year.
Yeah.
You know, but so I think it's about the value in who your options are, and then for us, we've made the commitment with continuity too. You know, to have 5 players returning.
What a concept, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. And look, I think everybody would say that or want to do that,
but it's hard.
It's very hard to do.
Yeah.
We probably got a little bit lucky this year, but
yeah,
we're fortunate.
I hate myself for comp questions, but Dame, it feels like there's a little bit of Luol in there.
Yeah, there is. I mean, the versatility, he's more of a guard than Luol was.
Okay.
But his defensive impact, it's
a grown-ass man.
Yeah, and he's played against grown-ass man.
His whole life, right?
Yeah, I mean, no, honestly, like he's played against, pros, as good as, like I played in the ACB, the Spanish league, when I was 24, and it was hard. Dame was doing that at 18.
Yeah.
Like that's a big deal.
Feels like an amazing ad late in the process for you.
It was, and we navigated that. Cedric Coward committed to us, and then Cedric committed, and then the next week it's like in mock drafts he's going, shooing up every mock draft, and we were in communication with Dame and very transparent with both, and it got to a point where we had to get Dame. He was the guy, and I'm glad we did.
One of the things you've done amazingly well in your 3 years is you've been you, which is really fucking hard to do when you're following Mike Krzyzewski. Now, I think I know how Mike would have handled the Houston loss, but I'm curious, how did you handle it? How have you kind of processed it? What were your days, your weeks, maybe heck, I don't know. Do you still watch it? Do you still watch the last 5 minutes? I don't know. How did you try to process that thing this early in your career?
It's something you can't truly process in the moment, right? And look, I don't shy away from the fact it's total heartbreak, man.
Yeah,
it's total heartbreak, and
and you feel it. We're speaking honestly. Like you feel it. Like I let my team down.
Yeah. It's not like I let my team down. To me, is like feeling sorry for yourself.
Okay.
I think that's different from being heartbroken when you invest everything you have into a group.
Special group.
And a special group.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the special group gave you everything they had. And some of it, it's the silver lining stuff, or like trying to come up with a reason. And sometimes there's not a reason. That happened in a horrible way. There's heartbreak. So I've watched that game. I could tell you every single play and everything I think went wrong in that moment. But end of the day, it's heartbreak, and you got to lean into that.
Yeah.
Like if you try to shy away from it or avoid it, you're never going to recover, and that doesn't mean you're ever okay with it. Mm-hmm. Like I think it's okay to say, no, that was heartbreaking. That was a terrible moment in a special season, a special group, but I refuse to let them be defined by 30 seconds, versus 35 wins, championships, everything that group had done.
And Mike had 99, and I've got a great relationship with Roy Williams. To this day, he'll talk to me about 03.
Right.
It's that one loss. Right. No matter how many times Mike won it 5 times, but I bet if you asked him about 99, he'd be like, "That was my best damn team."
Right. I mean, 99, I think was. And you think about, even in Coach K's career, like the margin, you just keep going back to the margin, right?
Yeah.
And our group, the one thing I would say about that game. Look, we had that double-digit lead. To me, you can look at the last 30 seconds. That group had done such a good job. We call them inflection points.
Yeah.
When you got a chance, 8-9 minutes to go, just to get separation where it doesn't even become a game, that's where we had some uncharacteristic plays. In Houston, obviously, made some big-time shots. But, again, you're playing a great team. They're going to make shots and make plays.
Yeah, there's other good teams. It's funny. in all of our conversations with players and coaches, the thing that always sticks out to me is, I mean, you've literally won, right?
Yeah.
But you, it's like talking to Roy Williams. He'll go 30 minutes telling you about all the things that happen and
missed
things like
more
that.
free throws than 3-pointers in that game.
Right.
So
he knows the numbers off the top.
But also, we talk about great teams. I mean, you were literally part of a championship team that people did not think could do that.
Maybe
right?
it was the payback for 99.
So it's kind of funny how sport. That's sports.
It is.
Right.
It is. And you think about along the way, any championship we've won or any Final Four we've been to, one play.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally that fragile. 99, you can say the same thing. 2010 when we won. 2015, you can go down the line.
2010.
22.
Yeah, what are we talking about, right?
It's a make or miss game.
No,
it's a make or miss game.
It is, and it's a rebound or not rebound type of game. It's one play. So, again, you have to accept that and embrace that. And also, so you talk about one play defining, how you feel on top of the world versus how I felt that night.
Yeah.
It comes down to one thing.
So we talked to Jeff Capel yesterday, and we were just kind of joking around, the moments you actually feel old. Like Giglio just turned 50, Capel turned 50. He's like, I'll tell you when I felt old. I'm coaching against a guy I recruited now, and Jay Lucas, right? He's still mad about that visit, but that's another story altogether.
Coaching the Boozers now has to be this for you, right?
That's got to be
this
it,
has
right?
to be it, right?
Well, I've reached the point. I'm not 50, but probably one of the younger coaches still.
Yes.
I've reached the point, like I've doubled my guys in age. Like I'm double their age, a lot of them. The Boozers are 18, I'm 38. So that's crazy for me. We were talking earlier, we got asked a question, our favorite movies, and they do all these questions today. Malik Brown and Caleb Foster have never seen Wedding Crashers. They've never seen Old School. They've never seen Step Brothers.
And you're like, how have you not?
Just think about that.
These are like foundational movies, right, for a lot of people.
Caleb said he loved Rush Hour. I said Rush Hour was before you were born. That was in like 98.
Yeah.
So anyway.
It is kind of funny how that kind of plays out. So to that end, as you get older and you've seen some changes in the league with coaches, what's the room like now in the coaches' meetings? Do you feel like you have done enough, or you've been here long enough that you can you're finding your voice amongst coaches? Because what I find interesting is who speaks for the league now? We've had a lot of Hall of Famers who have retired. Who speaks for the league?
Well, look, I don't think it's any one person. I think there's no question there's a ton of turnover. If you were to ask Brad Brunell the difference of Coach Williams and Coach K, being in the room versus, what it is.
Has he walked in the room and said, "I'm the captain now"? Is that what he does?
No, he speaks up a lot. No,
okay,
which is good. Like he's the
longest tenured ACC coach. Yes.
I mean, look, and he speaks up, which is valuable. Yeah. I think I've seen enough in this league as a head coach, assistant coach, and then playing in it that I have a unique perspective, and I'm fortunate to be on a few different committees to get insight. Steve Forbes has been a key guy. Yeah. With his valuable insight, his experience. But I think our league, it's on one hand, is lacking long-time experience in the league, which isn't good. But on the other hand, I think it is good where there's fresh perspective, fresh ideas, continuing to try and modernize our game too. I think that's important as well.
Now, the reason why I asked that is, and we'll wrap on this, the ACC is trying to figure out how to get more teams into the tournament, right? And it used to be if Mike says something, if Roy says something, everybody ends up listening and they'll take that in consideration. Do you feel that there's a vacuum that maybe you can fill, or maybe that's not even a thing? Just like, I'm going to worry about winning, and everybody else should worry about winning, and it'll take care of itself. How do you do that?
I think it's part of both. I think winning does take care of a lot, but at the same time, I think you do need to advocate for our league, advocate for other teams, and part of the responsibility of young coaches now is to carry our game forward. I feel that is a responsibility of mine. So I think that's something I want to do more of. I have done more of. But at the same time, as far as like getting teams in the tournament, well, we have to win. We have to schedule. That's a responsibility that each of us as coaches have.
Yeah, and you're scheduling completely different. You have different goals in mind when it comes to your schedule. I know you talked about that recently at your press availability. All right, before we say goodbye, we're talking about putting the young guys onto movies that they've never seen before. What's the one artist your players have turned you on to that you didn't expect?
Oh man, what's the guy that I like, man, is was it? I'm gonna butcher his name. G Herbo, is that it?
Yeah, G Herbo. Yeah.
Yeah, G Herbo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Like it was one of those things. I'm like, I wasn't expecting to like.
Yeah,
this,
he's yeah. I wasn't. Yeah.
Now
I don't like most of their stuff, to be honest.
I was gonna say, like, look, as I'm the manager, I'm the team manager for my 14-year-old's travel hockey team. Okay, for the junior canes, and I walk into the locker room and they're listening to stuff. I'm like, what? I've turned into that guy where I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Is this music?
It's unbelievable.
John, we appreciate the time.
Thanks, as always. Thanks.
Sitting down with us at ACC Tipoff is Wake Forest basketball coach Steve Forbes. Welcome. It's been a while.
Hey guys, no
You got a sticker?
party gifts.
You got a sticker?
Oh, you know, I
Guys,
got you a
see-
sticker. No beer this time. Sorry.
Beer? Wow, I thought it was whiskey I got last time.
You did.
You did. I
Bourbon?
mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
Bourbon?
You're coming through Raleigh at some
I
point,
am.
right?
Well, I got to.
That's
They're
right.
Play
making me-
twice.
They're making you do it
They
now,
make
right?
me.
Like, I get that game. That's a game we should have. I also think they should have NC State and Carolina play twice, things like that. But.
Well, do we want to go there now? Or?
Let's go there now. Rip
I
the
mean, I don't
Band-Aid
get a
off.
home game out of it.
So,
I got
how-
to go to Duke and Carolina. So I
you
don't get
them
them at home.
How do
Next
you-
year you get them at home.
Yeah, but why don't we split them?
That's a good point.
That's a $400,000 gate.
So that's my question. When you go, we can talk to Paul Brazeau about this. We can
Yeah.
talk to any number. Jim Phillips about. He was asked about this. I'm always curious from your perspective. You just said the quiet part out loud. That's a lot of money,
It's a lot of money.
and you don't get it now.
And and then the interest, it's like that's the traditional game that our fans want to see at home. Mm-hmm. And okay, we play Carolina once, and we've been in this mode where we play them once a year.
Yeah.
I get that part, but we shouldn't have to split. We shouldn't have to play both places one time away.
Yeah.
I think common sense would say, look, if they're going to do that, that's fine. They can play one of those at home, one of those away. Mm-hmm. But that didn't prevail.
So how do those conversations go at spring meetings?
They don't.
They don't have. Okay.
No, I don't think. I mean, that didn't come up like that part. That's probably a little bit more behind the scenes during the after the meetings in the summer. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure our people raised their concerns, and that would be above me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't get involved in that. That's I got enough to do, my man, than to do that.
Yeah, let's let the higher pay grade do something like that, right?
Right.
No, so I guess the curiosity is you're fine with the schedule itself, not how it necessarily played out, but you're fine with the reduced schedule.
I was for it. You know
You're for
that.
it, yeah.
I mean, I think Jim Phillips said that maybe yesterday. I heard when I wasn't here, but about when they went to the 18-game league schedule, he had some talks with me about it.
Yeah.
My thing with it is, look, what we were doing wasn't working. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's try something different. Now will it work? I don't know. I mean, we still got to win.
Yeah.
Right, and you got to schedule right in the non-conference, which we did.
Yeah.
Now I can't schedule for 20 other teams.
Right.
But if you look at the numbers, based from when we went to 20 league games, based on when the net came in, it has not helped us at all.
Okay.
And so that was the genesis of this decision. Now we'll see.
You have a different group this year.
Yeah. I had 4 guys back.
Who's driving the bus on this team?
Who's Steve Forbes?
Okay. Well, you don't make any shots or take any for that matter.
Good point. Maybe you'd have made as many last year. I think it's a collective deal.
Okay.
I believe this. I've
I love
always liked
Spillers.
to play with but
Yeah.
I've always liked to play with depth.
Okay.
And I believe we have 10, easy 10, maybe 11. And so to answer your question, yes, Trey Spillers, senior returner, really good player. We got Juke Harris back as a returner. We got Omaha Blue, Marcus Marion. But we have some older guys, Makai Mason, Nate Calmise, Miles Colvin, playing the national championship for Purdue. Those guys can all kind of drive the bus. But ultimately, who do you put the ball in the hands of is the point guard. And so, you got to think Nate Calmise will have a lot of say in that too.
Can it really be 6 years?
No,
Is this
5.
really is it?
It's 5 because first year is COVID.
That's right. We don't count that one. I know. You always take that year off the books. You always take that year off the books.
But yes, it's year 6.
Can it really be?
I was
is
alive.
that even possible?
I was alive, barely, first year.
Yeah.
It goes pretty quick, man. I mean, I turned 60 in March. This is my 37th year in college coaching. And all of a sudden, I went from being kind of one of the younger guys in the league when I came in with 5 guys over 70 and all going to the Hall of Fame plus Bray and Bennett to being one of the oldest guy. Not the oldest, but creeping.
Yeah.
Creeping.
So what's going back to meetings and whatnot, when the coaches talk about the league and everything else? I mean, I've made the joke before. Like, is Brad Brownell now the longest tenured coach? Does he sit at the head of the table? He's like, hey, Kay used to sit here. This is my seat now.
We don't do that. We don't do musical chairs.
Well, but I am curious in the dynamics when the Hall of Famers move out.
Yes.
And you get older and you have this experience and you've been around the block. How does that conversation go with, say,
it's a good question,
Jon Scheyer, or now Jay Lucas coming in and Will Wade now at the table? How does that conversation go?
I think this. The last couple years, myself and Brad, Jeff Capel, some Mike, I've carried a lot of the conversation.
Okay.
But I personally have spoke to John, Hubert, Damon, Luke, all the younger guys about having a voice and not feeling pressure. Mm-hmm. Okay, like I went in there, understand during COVID, we had a league meeting every week. Okay?
This guy loves a meeting.
So I'm on a Zoom with those guys, like Kay, Roy, Boeheim, Larinaga, Hamilton, Bennett, and Bray.
Yeah.
You think I'm saying anything?
No.
I know it's hard to imagine, but I didn't. I know.
Do we have recordings of those Zoom calls? I'd love to see you just sit there silently.
I have a picture. I took a picture.
I got to see that
I
picture.
screenshotted it because I was like, what in the hell am I doing here? And so, and Will.
Yeah.
Will's smart. And so I don't want them to ever feel like, well, I got to find my way. No. It's your time. Mm-hmm. It's your time. Our league has changed. Like what's going to happen, rightfully so. We got young coaches going, new guys coming in.
Yeah.
And so I want them to feel John and Micah just got on the NABC board of directors. That's important. Mm-hmm. I'm on there with them. I just came from Indy. I've been in Indianapolis the last few days, and I'm on the men's basketball oversight committee. I had meetings. I like that because of my, I've been in it a long time. I feel like I can give back that way. And so those guys, the new guys, the younger guys, they're smart. And they got the job for a reason, so we need to hear their voice.
It's interesting because I'm thinking back to a conversation we had with Mike Krzyzewski before his last season, and the changes over the years, over the 40 years, and those relationships with other coaches, right, and how things had kind of tilted a little bit. It wasn't necessarily everybody was in here for the same reason. We just wanted to teach, we wanted to be basketball coaches, all that kind of stuff. And money comes in and dynamics change, and he kind of was wistful for all those old connections.
I know that feeling.
So you know that feeling, but that doesn't mean it has to stay that way,
No, it don't.
right?
Look,
Is that what you're trying to instill with the young guys,
yes,
the new guys?
I like them.
Yeah.
I want to beat them.
Of course.
But I like them.
Yeah.
I like them. I like talking to them. I really enjoy my relationship with Jon Scheyer. Mm-hmm. I think he's really smart. And he says, he just knows, he understands. And so I just think those guys need encouragement and confidence.
Okay.
To say, not confidence for, confidence just to say, it's okay. Speak.
Yeah.
Because we're going to listen.
I asked John about that earlier in relation to typically when you are stumping for the league, it was easy to listen. Well, Mike Krzyzewski's talking, Roy Williams talking. Right. So that's the next part of this. You got Capel, you got Brad. Do you feel like you got that voice, or maybe it's not?
I mean, I have the voice, I have the platform, but I'm not the guy. I mean, look, I'm realistic of who I am. I look in the mirror every day. I do think I'm respected as far as my opinions on most things, not everything, but I don't think it needs to be me. And I think it's Hubert too. Now Hubert's played for a national championship,
right?
Like John's been the Final Four. Brad's been in 2 Elite Eight. He's been in Elite Eight.
But you've been grinding for nearly 40 years.
Huh?
You've been grinding for nearly 40 years.
I'll get it, but I'm just saying when you talk about the league,
I got you.
I just think there's going to be more oomph from a Carolina. Pat Kelsey, he's got a squad. He's flipped Louisville. But it's always been a powerful job. Use your voice. And not, as you said, I'll promote the league. I think we have the best young group of coaches in college basketball. And we've done what's going to happen in the Big Ten and then the Big 12 sooner or later. Is that there's going to be a change of the guard.
Yeah.
Coach Pearl just left.
Yeah.
Coach Barnes is still going. But someday he's not.
He's just going to say, "No,
Okay.
good." Yeah.
It's Coach Calipari. Someday he's not going to be the coach. And so we've just did it a little bit earlier than everybody else did it. And so, but these guys are going to, now, people got to give them a chance.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They got to give them a chance. But like some of those guys we just talked about, they didn't start out killing it either. And the landscape's a hell of a lot different now than it was when they started and when I started.
Yeah.
And so I like where we're at as far as the coaches in our league.
I think you just buried the lead. Did you just say you were in Indianapolis for a meeting?
I was.
Oh, when is the tournament expanding?
Well, see, this is the whole problem with social media.
Yeah.
Is that we get these reports about things that aren't even real. And so for the tournament to expand, there has to be a proposal for that. It has to go in front of the committee that I'm on. Then we have to approve it, and then it has to go to the administrative committee, and they have to approve it. And I just left Indianapolis, and I was sitting there with the men's basketball tournament committee, and there was no proposal. Now, they are working on it. And
the proposal.
The proposal, yes. And there's a time frame that it has to be done. And look, let me tell you something. There's nobody better to work on that than Dan Gavitt. He's the smartest guy in the room. And if it can happen, it'll happen. If it's not financially right, then it won't happen. But I do think that if he puts a proposal in front of us, it'll be something that he believes in. And if he believes in it, I believe it. Now, I believe in expansion, and not for the reasons that you think. Everybody's going to say, well, because you've been on the bubble. No. I know what it looks like. I know the faces of those kids when they get to go to the media the day before, the open practice, and play that game. That is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So who in their right mind can sit out there and say, well, man, we shouldn't give 40 other kids the opportunity to play in an NCAA tournament? That, to me, is ridiculous. The tournament's going to look the same on Thursday.
Yeah.
So stop whining. Stop talking about, it's not good. Nobody cares. Nobody's going to watch it. Guess what? They're going to watch it, and they're going to gamble. Okay, it's the way it is.
There it is.
Right.
There it is. I was gonna say,
I'm
you just said the quiet part out loud on that one.
I'm disgusted. I'm not disgusted. I just don't understand why somebody can't see past the fact that this is an opportunity for how many more teams there are times those kids getting that chance. I'm not winning the tournament, not making a run to the Elite Eight. That one shining moment. Right there. I've done it 10, 11 times with those kids. I know how that looks. And Selection Sunday is a big day for those kids. And so I don't know why we wouldn't want other kids to enjoy it.
More is more, Coach. More is more.
More is more. Less is more. More is less. I don't know.
Steve
more
Forbes,
is more.
Wake Forest. We appreciate the time as always. We'll pay you a visit.
You will?
When you're in Raleigh.
Not at the hotel. We got to go somewhere else. We got to go to a shootout or something.
It might be New Year's Eve. I don't know. Is it?
I'm in town. I'm old. I ain't going out on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, let's look.
Can we bring cigars?
Look, he knows.
My dad's got a fresh batch, so we'll make that happen. And we got bourbon too, as always.
Okay.
I mean, if you guys.
Real quick before we say bye, what show did you wrap up before the start?
God, I knew
the season.
Ask me.
What are you watching? Did you watch Hunting Wives on Netflix?
I did. Outstanding.
More is more, Coach. More is more.
More is more.
Is there a thing called Hightown or something I watched? It's about Cape Cod. It's about you need to watch that one.
More rich people?
No. You have a noon game against State on New Year's Eve.
Perfect. Wow. See you there.
Might stay with you.
I was going to say Cape Cod. Well,
you got to change the hotel list.
Yes,
officially.
Hunting Wives? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
On that note, we'll talk to you later. So I like to pride myself on knowing a little about a lot.
Okay.
But that only gets you so far on certain matters. Like, I know a little about finances. I know a little about taxes. But as I learned, being a small LLC, two-person LLC with one Joe Giglio, you find out, oh, man, I am over my skis when it comes to this kind of stuff and preparing for tax purposes. This is where Brassfield Accounting comes in. So if you're like me and you know a little about a lot, or you're really hyper-focused on your business and you're nailing that, but there's stuff on the financial side that you're a little uneasy about, well, there's something called a fractional CFO. And that's what Chris Brassfield does. So go to brassfieldaccounting.com. Again, that's brassfieldaccounting.com. I would say the same thing about our guy, Gordon Miller. I know a little about a lot. I know that it's silly to pay closing costs, okay? Because the math ain't going to math when you pay for closing costs. Typically, people will refinance about every 4 years for a variety of different reasons. And you won't break even on those closing costs on average for about 8 years. So again, you see where the math ain't mathing. But where I am not an expert is understanding what's going on with the Fed and how that might affect things in the next 6 months and whether or not it's the right time to refinance. That's where Miller Lending comes into play. So start that conversation today, 919-447-3377, or visit them online at millerlending.com/theog. Again, that's millerlending.com/theog. You take that thing to close, and you're going to get a Raleigh Wine Shop gift basket. Again, when you take that thing to close. So go check them out. We're sitting here talking about reasons why you might refinance. A lot of times people will use the equity in their home to do a home renovation. While you're thinking about it, if you're going to be doing some big stuff in the house, go all in. Call our guy, Chris. Bloomin' Blinds, 919-980-9815. 10 or more window treatments, you're going to get 10% off. But you got to call 919-980-9815 or visit them online at bloominblinds.com. Again, that's bloominblinds.com. And, of course, our friends at the Butcher's Market. Check them out online at thebutchersmarkets.com. You will find all sorts of great stuff in the meat case, the grab and go. But they also have, like, all the other things that you need. You need wine? They got it. You need some dips? They got that, too. Everything is there at the Butcher's Market. They got everything you need. So check them out online at thebutchersmarkets.com. Sitting down with us at ACC Tipoff is Senior Associate Commissioner of Basketball for the Atlantic Coast Conference.
He's now the Senior Vice President at the ACC.
I like that. That sounds way better, Paul.
And it's men's basketball. So
yes, right.
You're
there
advanced.
You go.
Paul Brazeau joining us here at ACC Tipoff. All right, let's rip the Band-Aid off. How much deliberation, how many people had to work through that basketball schedule?
The once we decided on the format, then it lays out, like it always has in terms of putting games together and where you go and the matchups and so on. Once you decide on the format, and based on the math, to go to 18 games.
Yeah.
And I remember we got a through our ESPN contract, we had a 20-game contract. And we asked it to go back to 18. Well, there's trade-offs. When you're in negotiation, you're trading some things off. So to go to 18 games and give value for some of the television games, we had to go to a system where you play 16 opponents because you're going to play two teams twice. That left us with one team you don't play, and that'll rotate. As a for instance, this year, and for your listeners, Duke's not going to play Miami this year. But that shouldn't happen again for a number of years down the road where they wouldn't play Miami. So you're going to rotate your no play will rotate through the league. You have one permanent opponent. Carolina plays State.
No.
Carolina plays Duke. There you go.
No.
Carolina plays Duke. State plays Wake. Virginia plays Virginia Tech, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So you have it permanent. There will be a rotating second team that you'll play twice in a year. That'll rotate a little bit. We'll take a lot of things into consideration.
Did you make an effort on that second game for it to be for more quality wins, more opponents on that?
And people are going to be at programs will be at different spots.
Okay.
In terms of their development. Some will be teams that you think you are an NCAA tournament team and you're trying to schedule for seed. Then there's another group that'll be trying to make the tournament, and you want to schedule to get wins, enough wins to get quality wins to make the tournament. And then there's going to be another group that's in a reloading situation. Maybe a new coach, maybe something that's changed, or just lost a really great player who graduates and moves on. So there'll be different things each year that'll have to get looked at. It'll have some subjectivity to it. Yet you're trying to put the best matchups out there and help put our conference in position to get as many teams as possible in the NCAA tournament.
So the basic theory here is you play fewer conference games to improve your non-conference schedule, to get better wins out of the league, to help your early math.
It can work that way
for NCAA tournament at large selections.
Right. The net almost gets baked through November and December.
Yes. Okay.
And there's not much movement of net later on.
Yeah.
So a team that's trying to get a really high, is trying to improve their seed. Again, it's trying to improve their seed. They can schedule in a particular way that they feel comfortable with. And again, those teams that are trying to get, we need to make sure we're make the field. Not everybody's concerned about seed, but you want to make the field.
Sure.
So that's good. And then there's other teams you want to we need to stack wins here to become attractive to recruits and transfers and so on and so forth. So, but that by allowing them to have the teams to have 2 more games to schedule, it puts it a lot in their hands.
Okay.
It's not dictated by the conference.
I'm really not trying to sound like basic here, but it sounds to me, are we having this conversation if the ACC just wins those non-conference games before this upcoming season? I'm really trying to not oversimplify here, but it seems like the biggest problem is the ACC just was, like you said, the math and the net was getting baked in at the wrong time of the year. If you flip that, if you don't, for lack of a better term, get embarrassed in the ACC SEC Challenge, how much of that gets flipped, and are we even having this conversation? It just seems like I'm oversimplifying by saying, man, just win those games and we don't have these problems.
Sure. I think, it's a great hypothetical.
Oh, okay.
Great hypothetical. Certainly, you could make a case that if you turn what our last year's non-conference record against power teams, if that was flipped around, you may not have had to address it like we are.
Okay.
But we've lost, a ton of Hall of Fame veteran coaches, so we're in a little bit of a reload.
Yeah.
And what's the best way for us to reload more quickly?
Okay, so I see. So because that was going to be the next part of it. Sometimes it's really easy of like, look, man, look at all these guys that we had that were Hall of Famers, as you mentioned, and some of these schools are going through some transitions, not only in coach, but also the new era of college basketball that we're in with NIL and house and budgets and everything else. And there's a little bit of a learning curve as schools are ramping up and kind of having that light bulb go on. So what you're telling me is this math is, would you revisit it, I guess is what I'm saying. If things start to correct themselves, would you go back to more conference games?
I think you would consider it.
Okay.
I don't think it's imminent. I think we'll stay in this format for a foreseeable future, and I'm not putting a length of time on that either.
Yeah.
I don't expect this to just be a 1-year decision.
Sure, it's going to be a couple of years.
And this is really from maybe even 2 years ago where you guys tried to really figure out, well, why the heck did we got 5 teams in? You only got 5 in 24 because State won the ACC tournament, and you only got 4 teams in last year. Like this is like an ongoing evaluation from the conference office to say, how do we help men's basketball get more teams into the NCAA tournament?
And a simplistic answer here, just let's get more teams off the bubble.
Okay.
And in. Let's get them in.
I got you.
To his
hang
point
around
and
the
your
bubble.
point, you got to win the games out of the league. We know this, but
yeah, and I guess I'm also coming at it from look, we're a biased position in the triangle, and our business, what we're trying to do here as a 2-person LLC is tap into things that really matter to our audience, to tap into triangle basketball. So when you take one of those games away, I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh man, that's one less game that gets people worked up. So, and that's why I asked about the television ratings. And I know Commissioner Phillips got a question about that in relation to the success initiatives and how ratings matter and how you balance that as well. But I'm guessing the NCAA tournament, a bigger deal than regular season ratings?
I think all of all of it's a part of it.
Yeah.
And you know, the thing that's great about sports, I think in general, all of us, what we love about sports, it's a meritocracy.
Yeah.
You get rewarded by winning.
Yeah.
You know, and so the NCAA tournament bids, you get rewarded by winning. So we can sit here and we have, you know, looked at we can all argue about the last 2 or 3 in and the first 2 or 3 out.
Well, that's great fodder.
And that's really the only tipping point on this whole thing is those last 4 in, last 4 out. Because the other 64, they're pretty clearly in. You know, I don't think the committee misses. I don't think the committee misses much at all. But if you want to make an argument about the committee, where do you miss? You only miss it on 67 and 68.
Yeah.
We're not missing on the first 66 or so.
I know a little bit beyond your control, but how close do you really think we are to a 74 or 76 team field from you know, people inside the business?
I think it's going to get strong consideration. I think there's a television component, a financial component that needs to be meshed together, and then the logistic component of it. You have Dayton right now, right? The 8 teams that go to Dayton. That's a quick turnaround because some conferences are finishing on Sunday.
Yeah.
And this is a Tuesday, Wednesday. So I guess you would probably, you know, as I sit here, this is anecdotal. We're gonna need a Western site, and then, you know, if Dayton stays, maybe you need a Denver. I'm just, you know, going geographically, that would want to host this thing, and again, quick turnaround, and then.
It pushes up into your conference tournaments, and then, of course, CBS, the current partner, has a certain golf tournament that they're not fucking moving. I'll tell you that right now.
Some golf thing.
Yeah.
There's some thing happening. It's the OG Golf Classic. It already happened.
Exactly. So there's a lot of moving parts is what I'm getting at.
And then your bracket. Because San Diego State played, was it Carolina last year in Dayton?
Yeah.
Right, San Diego State. So then you're going to start looking at like, all right, well, should San Diego State come all the way to Dayton? So now you're going to manipulate a little bit more. No, they should go to the Dayton bracket. Well, now what does that do when they're
put somebody in Salt Lake City.
Right.
Yeah,
so
I got you.
There's a lot of pieces to it that doesn't just say, well, put 8 teams out there and 8 teams here. You know, and then
it's easier for us to solve these problems when there's not like a practical application.
Are we not solving these problems right here? That's what it sounds like to me.
We easily could. Also, I gotta say it, man. I hate that not all the teams play in the ACC tournament. That's staying though, I guess, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's going to stay for another year.
Okay.
I mean, it can always be revisited. It's you're adding a day.
I know.
You know, which you're adding a day, huge turnaround, huge lift.
Yeah.
And for the teams that play Saturday, they're going to would have to play quote on Monday. You are forcing your 9th place team, which not arguably, but by math, has finished in the top half of the league. Well, you know, they're going to play now an earlier round, and they're going to, if you went straight seeds, they'd be playing the 18th seed. What gain does a 9 over 18 for the 19th? Does it gain anything for them?
I see what you're saying.
So there's a lot of.
But think of the first 18th seed that wins the
runs the
table. I mean, that's a great story.
Oh,
we'll get Kevin back for that.
So, Paul, we appreciate the time as always and putting up with us. I guess my last question would be, with all of these moving parts, as you've mentioned, how do you find the coaches in these meetings? When you go to the spring meetings and these things are being debated, is there, because again, as you said, there's teams that are trying to schedule different things and they have different goals and different needs. Is there more consensus than not? Is it spirited discussion? Does everybody kind of see what's going on here? How is that room when you have those discussions?
Really, we're fortunate we've got a group of 18 that can get along. All right, first and foremost, that's a good thing. You get along, and you're willing to voice what you think. The league is big in terms of, you know, what the team that's going to be, you know, heck, you get to speak from a different spot than someone who's building.
Yeah.
So, but everybody's respectful of that. I think what's changed in the last, you know, 6, 7, 8 years in terms of, and it's not just the ACC. I talk to my colleagues, is conference camaraderie among coaches has changed because of stuff like NIL and stuff like portal and intra-conference transfers. There was a point in
Ven-Allen,
time.
Lubin. Yeah.
Right, but there was a point in time.
Ven-Allen, Lubin, I think he's played for every ACC team.
There you go. The recruiting, when the high school player chose school X, then it was done.
Yeah.
It was done. You didn't then have 4 more years of hoping he didn't go, that person, he couldn't leave X to go to Y in the same conference.
Yeah.
Right.
So your coaches could have different relationships with each other. It's more difficult now because it's more about, I got to worry about my program.
Yeah. Does Brad Brownell come into the meetings now? Like, hey guys, it's my league now.
I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain now. Like, yeah, Coach K was here. Roy Williams was here. Jim Leonard, he's gone. Leonard, he's gone. I'm the longest tenured coach now.
Yeah, exactly.
I have some opinions. I've been waiting for this.
Brad has always been, Brad never shied away from speaking before, so I don't expect it now. He hasn't quite taken on that.
Hey, somebody's got to be the old guy in the room now,
That's right. It's not the White House situation. There. We're not at that. He's got really good colleagues who got a lot of experience.
Yeah.
So when they all, it's really neat because there's and the new guys that have come in are new coaches into the conference, not new as coaches.
Yeah.
Both Ryan and Will.
And Will Wade's been around, man.
A lot of experience.
Yeah.
A lot of experience. Jay and Luke Laux, are quote new head coaches. So it'll come where their voices will. But you got to feel the room out the first time. No doubt.
I'm just thinking maybe Brad's like, yeah, Coach K used to sit here all the time. I sit here now.
Well, I want this room at Amelia Island. This is
remember, you also got Forbes in the room.
Yeah, true.
Talker.
We love
our guy.
We love Forbes. He is a talker.
Forbes. There you go.
Paul, we appreciate the time as always.
Thanks, guys. Good luck to you guys too, man. Appreciate you.
All right, Joe, what did we learn today? Steve Forbes fired up.
Yeah, I thought Jon was really good.
Scheyer's had a lot his way in 3 years.
Yeah, I didn't explain to him what I thought Mike Krzyzewski would have done after losing to Houston, but it's obviously implied. Like Mike Krzyzewski would have buried himself in the tower.
Yeah.
Over at Duke and tried to figure out, okay, in every waking moment would be spent on drawing up new out of bounds plays, right? He would be obsessed with it. And it's funny. This year, I actually went back and watched the end of the 99 game.
Okay.
Because you misremember things, right? You think, Khalid Al-Amin, he must have been unbelievable in that game. He was fine.
Sure.
But Duke had 2 chances at the end of that game to win. Mike Krzyzewski, arguably the greatest coach of all time, had 2 chances to draw up a play and give him a chance to win. Neither time were they able to get a shot off. And it happens. It happens. Yeah. Hakeem Warwick coming out to the corner, blocking that shot against Kansas that haunts Roy Williams to this day.
Yeah.
You have these moments. Your success isn't this. Your career isn't this. No matter what it is, no matter who you are. You're not going to do this. You're not going to get better all the time, every day, every season. And as Mike Krzyzewski got mad at Pat Welter during the pandemic, you can't be at your best all the time.
Yeah.
So it's curious to me to see how Jon processes it.
I think he has a healthy way of processing.
I said to him at the end there, I don't know if we caught it while we were still recording, they did a social media thing last week, or probably from the beginning of the school years, where probably when it was. They released it last week. Of Jon's young son, Jet, helping new students move into their dorms. He's spending the day with his son, going back to Charlotte where we were here in 2018. Roy was with his grandson and had him on the bench before the game. And, Roy's son Scott played basketball at Carolina, and he was at Kansas. He didn't get the time the first time around. So that's why he was trying to do stuff with his grandson. Mike, with his daughters, at the end of his career, his daughters were everywhere. Yeah. So involved in everything. But at the beginning of his career, you there is some neglect there.
There is.
That was outlined in a great Gary Smith story in Sports Illustrated back in '95 when the infamous back injury.
That's
happened.
why I say there's a healthy attitude about.
Yeah, and I think Jon is trying to process all of that, and it's like as a competitor, it really will be something in 20 years. He'll be telling the story about, man, I wish I would have used an elevator screen to get a guy open and popped it open, but. Truth of the matter is, it really is a make or miss game.
It is,
and they did have a look at the end. Cooper did have a look at the end of that game.
More importantly for me,
good look.
And why Duke 99 is interesting, right? It's a prime example of this, or any number of Carolina teams that people considered, man, like what last year we were joking about 84, were we not? Okay.
I mean,
right.
They won every ACC game they played in 1984.
Hubert got fired up when we talked about that 84 team, right?
Yep.
So what bothers me is people act like, well, you must not be that good of a coach if you couldn't win with this quote unquote special group. And it's like every Hall of Fame coach, and I'm not saying Jon Scheyer is going to go off to be a Hall of Famer. I'm simply saying every Hall of Fame coach,
pretty good start,
has a team that you look back and you go, how? Well, how happens is because you got to play the freaking games.
It's also a one-off tournament.
Which is a random chaos generator.
Dan Dakich can lock down Michael Jordan, or the referee can lock down Michael Jordan in a one-game setting.
And that's why I brought up 2010. Because, again, you can have, oh, man, how did 99 not win? Well, 2010 did.
The karmic payback.
Okay. So,
including the shot of the buzzer.
The make or miss. You saw how Jon lit up. Like, dude, that ball goes a little bit different. And we're talking about it completely different, okay? So these are things that ultimately bother me about how for me personally, how people have been talking about Jon Scheyer and that Final Four as though, like, guys, this is pretty common, all things considered. And that's going to stick with them. You don't have to remind them about that kind of stuff. Also, Steve Forbes is the best. Have you watched Hunting Wives yet?
No, I have not.
Josh Graham, have you watched Hunting Wives yet on Netflix? Oh, dude. I don't think, I don't know.
Not for Josh.
This might actually, it would corrupt Josh.
Yeah, we don't need to do that.
We don't need to do that. It would corrupt him. You would have to go to confession for a week straight. That would be a thing.
We don't want that.
We don't want that. Anyway, big thanks to the ACC once again for hosting these events. It's always good to catch up with people behind the scenes at the ACC. Obviously, people see Jim Phillips, but there's a lot of people behind the scenes that do a lot of good work, and it's a grind. It is a grind for them. So once again, we appreciate the hospitality for another well-run event. And I don't know.
Could be seeing you from a Salisbury Sheets here in about an hour or so.
I mean, shit, you might be seeing me at a Wawa north of Richmond sometime tomorrow afternoon.
Okay.
I don't know.
Stay ready.
It's the beauty of doing this.
Pack your pre-made toothbrush.
This is the best. I'm gonna have to bring the Roadcaster mic, aren't I?
I don't know what you're gonna bring because I need.
No. I have the USB mic. I got the USB mic. Anyway, maybe we'll see you later. Maybe we'll just see you at the local Thursday at 4:30.